A local military veteran is sharing his own experiences in the hopes that it will help his fellow comrades struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. News 12 Connecticut's Lauren Fabrizi with his story of courage.
Sam Bernauer spent several years as a personal trainer.
We did a lot of these exercise classes at assisted living communities, and that was a lot of fun. I've also worked at a lot of other gyms as well.
You can see it makes for an easy conversation. But before that, as part of Bernauer's life, that's not always easy to talk about. At 19, Bernauer enlisted in the military, first serving in the Navy and then in the Army.
And eventually I ended up having a suicide attempt. I only received 1 week of inpatient care, and then once I was released from that, I was just basically thrown back into my unit.
Bernauer would go on to serve for another year. After being honorably discharged, Bernauer eventually sought help through the VA, where he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The California native decided to move across the country, putting down roots here in Connecticut. 20 years later, he's now married.
And I met Vera, and that's when things really started to get better.
And gets to spend his mornings like this with his son Luke. Bernauer is also a Connecticut ambassador for Mission 22, a national nonprofit that helps veterans struggling with PTSD.
I realized I just had to do something with my life more meaningful.
Bearing my heart, scars and all.
He's also created a YouTube channel to share his story, something that took a lot of courage to do.
Especially doing this, where being an advocate for trying to prevent veteran suicide, you have to tell people what you went through.
Now Bernauer is overcoming more fears by competing in a statewide powerlifting competition this spring, raising money for Mission 22 along the way.
I kept putting it off because there's all this fear of just thinking you're not good enough, you're not going to be strong enough. But then I said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it and see what happens.
A competition, Bernauer says, isn't about winning, but the journey that got him there.
In spite of all that's happened in the past, you know, if I can overcome all of that, there's no reason why we can't meet this goal.
Lauren Fabrizi, News 12 Connecticut.
Tag? Okay, tag. Well, if you would like to donate to the cause, we do have information at news12.com and on the News 12 app. Just look for this story.